Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Joe N. Idlet Junior TEC and this evening's School Board Awards and Presentations for the School District of Indian River County. I ask that out of respect to everyone, please silence all electronic devices. At this time, I would like to call the meeting to order. The time is 5:30 p.m., and I would like to recognize the superintendent for a series of awards and presentations. Dr. Moore.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I will turn it directly over to Dr. Shafty for those awards and presentations.
Thank you, Dr. Moore, Honorable Chair, board members, and esteemed guests. We begin this evening with a special recognition honoring dedication and service to our community and environment. Tonight, we are pleased to recognize Mr. Bob Michael for his commitment and impact through his work with the Everglades program. To share more about this recognition, I would like to invite Mr. Timothy Breen, Acting Everglades Program Supervisor with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, to the podium. Please help me welcome Mr. Breen.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Again, my name is Tim Breen. I'm the Everglades Program Supervisor for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. We're actually here in Vero Beach. I don't know if you knew that or not. And what I'm here to talk about is actually something that's unrelated to my job, actually, but I have an interest in migratory birds, being a biologist, and this opportunity came up a few years ago, and so that's kind of how this story of Bob Michael and I working together started. And so, again, I'm here to recognize Bob for his cooperation and assistance to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for the past 6 years. So it's taken me 6 years to get to the point that I recognize the guy for all the work that he's done. So, in March of 2019, I started to reach out to the district and had this idea. I wanted to find a school that we could put one of these towers up on. And the towers are called Motus towers. It's essentially an antenna that is used to track migratory birds, bats, and insects. And so Motus is an international research community that works together to study the movements and behaviors of those animals. And so how they do that is that all those animals are marked with transmitters. So they have tags on them, either on their, attached to their feathers or a backpack, that then are picked up by these towers. As the animal passes a tower during migration, it transmits information to that tower that then is collected, and we can look at that data after the fact. And so through this array of towers, thousands of them over, throughout North America and the world, you can start to put together pictures of the migration of these individual animals. And so, again, we installed the station at Vero Beach High School in 2019. It's currently an active part of this community, and to date has detected 44 individually tagged birds representing 17 different species. And to me, that doesn't sound like a lot in 6 years, but it really is. The likelihood that a bird is going to pass by the tower close enough that it gets picked up is very, very small. And so that's actually a pretty significant number of detections. So it's working very well. So I was trying to think about what I wanted to say here tonight, and I guess I go to the letter that I had submitted to the superintendent, because that captures some of the thoughts that I wanted to bring forward today. So let me quote, or let me read some of that. The process of obtaining approval from the district, finding an appropriate location, coordinating with the individual school, installing the equipment, and maintaining the functionality of the antenna system has required the genuine interest and dedication of a district employee. Fortunately, I was put in contact with Bob, and his response to my initial inquiry was immediate and enthusiastic. Within 30 days of meeting with Bob, the antenna array was installed and operational at Vero Beach High School, and our first detection of a migrating bird occurred on August 29th, 2019. Since the initial installation, I've reached out to Bob on many occasions, probably too many, for assistance with resetting the system or fixing a connectivity issue, and he and his team have always responded promptly, usually within a matter of minutes. I'm grateful for the relationship that has developed between the service and the district over the years as we have cooperated on this meaningful endeavor. And this is about Bob, but I think the data is important too. There's some cool things that we picked up, and so because of Bob, I can share some of these things. So our first detection was from a common nighthawk that had been tagged in Ontario, Canada, just 3 weeks prior to the detection here at Vero Beach. So that's 1,200 miles north of Vero Beach that bird was transmitted. The latest detection that we've had was from a Swainson's thrush, a songbird, that was tagged in New Jersey on September 28th, detected in Vero Beach on October 14th, 2 weeks later, and is currently wintering in Costa Rica. Kind of cool. I wish I was wintering in Costa Rica myself. The farthest away that a bird was tagged that then was picked up in Vero Beach was 2,800 miles away in Vancouver, British Columbia. So all the way in the northwest, and it migrated all the way across the country and was picked up at this station in Vero Beach. Wow. And the furthest wintering site, so the farthest that a bird went after it passed through Vero Beach, was just south of Bogota, Colombia. And let me talk about Bob as I finish out what I wanted to say. And I just want to give an example of the type of customer service that he and his team does. I'm sure you're all aware, but let me give you an example. The first email that I sent to Bob for assistance was in November of 2019. I sent the email at 3:28 p.m. Bob responded 9 minutes later at 3:37. And at 8:40 the next morning, I received an email from Bob that the issue had been resolved. And every single time that I've emailed him, that is the customer service that I get back from him. He responds quicker than anyone I've ever dealt with in customer service, and he resolves the issue. So again, thank you, Bob, for all of your assistance. Really appreciate it. We're getting some really cool information, and without you and your team, we wouldn't have been able to do this. So thank you. And I've got a plaque for you, and I also have a challenge coin. We give out challenge coins from the Fish and Wildlife Service to people that contribute significantly to the conservation of species or habitat. And so that's for you. Thank you. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Yep.
Next, we are proud to celebrate a student whose creativity has reached the state level. The Art in the Capital competition is a voluntary statewide visual arts competition that gives middle school students in grades 6 through 8 the opportunity to showcase their artistic talents. Each district selects a winning piece to represent them, and this year's winner is William Chu. To present this recognition and honor our student artist, I would like to invite our district art lead, Miss Dana Matheny, to the podium.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Shafty's already explained that our Art in the Capital is a very prestigious award, and aside from announcing Mr. William Chu from Storm Grove Middle School, he is under the direction of Miss Renee Bradley, his art teacher. William's winning piece is a pencil drawing titled Statue. It stands out for its exceptional craftsmanship, attention to detail, and artistic maturity. His work reflects not only personal talent, but also the strength of arts and education in our district. Here tonight to present the award and a framed copy of William's artwork is Sharon Stewart, the senior legislative aide to Senator Aaron Grawl, District 29. Yes. So at this time, I would like to invite William Chu, his parents, along with his teacher, Renee Bradley, to please come forward to receive this recognition and join our school board members for some photos. Here's William. William, congratulations. We're going to have you walk right into the middle with your parents. We're going to take pictures.
Come in front here.
Let's see it. Give us a good look.
Terrific.
Okay. Mr. Harris first. Proud principal just buttoning away.
Okay, let's go over your necks. Got it? Okay, and now, my turn. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Perfect, thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Great. Fantastic.
In the Capitol.
Now we turn to one of our student performances this evening. From Indian River Academy, we are excited to welcome our music club and friends. Their music teacher, Miss Jennifer Royals, has been working with these students as they have prepared 2 fun selections for us tonight. They will perform the Hey Hey Jam on xylophones and Hot Cross Buns on recorders. These students have been practicing and are so excited to share their music with you. Please help me welcome the Indian River Academy Music Club and friends. We're actually doing Hot Cross Buns first instead of Hey Hey Jam.
tell me what to do.
To school, and they learned this before school. Once a week.
Nice. Thank you.
Over here, 1, 2, and big smiles, ready? 1, 2, and 3. Got it.
Thank you.
Stay for your families.
Yes.
Maybe not. Great job. Good job. Great job. Good job. Thank you. Good job. Watch your toes. Great job, Indian River Academy. Our final performance of the evening comes from Gifford Middle School. We are pleased to present a student string quintet featuring 5th, 7th, and 8th grade musicians, led by Dr. Aramis Ruiz, orchestra director at Gifford Middle School and Vero Beach High School. This ensemble will perform 4 short selections designed to highlight the students developing fundamental skills, including a variety of bow articulations. Through these pieces, you will hear how individual parts come together as a cohesive ensemble, beginning with simple rhythms and foundational techniques, and building toward more complex rhythms and harmonic structures. Please join me in welcoming the Gifford Middle School Student String Quintet.
His daughter's in the biotech program at Fairleigh Town. Yeah.
She'll allow it.
Good job, guys. Great.
Dr. Moore, this concludes awards and presentations.
Madam Chair, that's it.
Right on time.
All right, this will conclude our awards and presentation this evening. The time is 5:59. We'll start in 5 minutes with the invocation. Thank you. and I would like to call this meeting to order. The time is 6:04 p.m. I ask that out of respect for everyone, please silence all electronic devices. Also, if you have any material you wish to share with any board member, please give it to our Education Executive Assistant, Mrs. Morey, to my right. Would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Vero Beach High School Air Force Junior ROTC Detachment under the direction of Major Retired Dean Rasdell and Senior Master Sergeant Retired Sean Rude. Thank you.
Of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Vero Beach High School. Okay, I want to make sure Ms. Bearborg's online. I just don't see her up there. Good. All right, board members, we will go into the next area of the meeting is the adoption of the orders of the day. Are there any items board members wish to move from consent to action or add to discussion? All right, seeing none, Chairman calls for a motion to accept the adoption of the orders of the day. So moved.
second.
Thank you, Dr. Pasca, Ms. Rosario. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, carries 5-0. Okay, at this time, I'd like to recognize Dr. Moore for any presentation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We do have the superintendent's report. It is today, January 26th, and it feels like it's already mid-March because we hit the ground running in the new year 2026. We kicked off January 5th, 2026 with our principal and assistant principal meeting where we had the opportunity to engage with them, not only welcome them back from a holiday break, but to ensure that they use January to implement the plans that they created towards the end of December. So a little ice breaking, a little reconnecting, and then right to work. And being in the schools and seeing the principals' focus along with our teachers' focus, very excited for what we're going to accomplish towards the end of this year. As you know, we're doing a little innovation in our school system, and the very next day we had the opportunity at multiple locations to bring together the various teams, whether it is the Sebastian or Storm Grove Middle School and Rosewood faculty, to connect with them in what would be their new space, build them together as a faculty. It was just an absolutely well-planned day. And did the work necessary to ensure as we go through this complex process of combining and enhancing and innovating our school system, we're doing it, that innovation is done through the individuals who stand in front of our students each and every single day. Just yet another good example as to how we listen and work with our staff, and this is going to be something that's going to be great as we move into next school year. Had the opportunity to present at the town of Orchid Island, and it was just an opportunity to give a quick update to our school system, where we are and where we are going. They may be on the beach and they may have 0 schools in that specific neighborhood, but they are strong supporters of public education. And then Showcase of Schools, which was January 10th, absolutely outstanding. And once again, the volume of work that had to go into this Showcase of Schools, shifting environments, new locations, combined locations, brand new spaces. You never would have known that some of these schools have just come together and are now marketing and advertising for the next school year. They're very clear on their expectations. They're very clear on their marketing plans and what they're selling in terms of the vocational or innovative programming at their particular schools. And then last week, just prior to our workshop, we had the opportunity to celebrate our board members during Board Member Appreciation Month. So that was a nice meal prepared by our Culinary Arts program at the Technical College. It was delicious, and it was a good time had by all. And then our faith-based program, they just have adopted us priority first. They always come and celebrate our district office and those who are here and at the other offices and make sure that we feel welcomed. We know that we're supported. It was yet another great meal and a great opportunity to just hang out and be together. Pastor Joe can't thank him enough for all he does, not only for us at the district level, but for our students across really the Treasure Coast. And then Stars of the Year Gala, which was one of the coolest events I've ever been to. Napier and Rollins Law Firm did it up this year. What was the name of the place we were at?
Osceola Farms.
Osceola Farms. It was absolutely amazing, the volume of work that those folks put in to create a space for our Teachers of the Year and our Employees of the Year. It was freezing cold, but it was a really, really great night to celebrate the impact of those educators and support staff. And then, equally cold, on January 19th was the Martin Luther King Jr. Parade. For some reason this year, the number of floats and the number of folks who came out, larger than I've ever seen. It was an absolutely outstanding organized event, and our float continues to look absolutely outstanding, and we had a number of schools participate, whether it be their cheerleaders or the band, so we were happy to be part of that event. And then getting out and connecting with the community, January 21st was our coffee and conversation at Dunkin' Donuts. So that was just a great informal opportunity to connect with parents and have conversations about how they feel and what we can do better as a system. And then the Mornings Yacht and Country Club, January 21st, had the opportunity to provide the state of affairs for our public school system. The room was packed. The questions were intense. That community truly supports public education. It was great to provide an update on behalf of the work that we do here at the School District of Indian River County. And then the very next day, January 22nd, most of us had the opportunity to come and celebrate the Jimmy Graves Sports and Community Complex opening. And as we've referenced during that event, so many different folks in the community had a key hand in making this a reality for our community. So it was just an absolutely outstanding day. And then that evening, one of the best events that we have, the Stars of the Year Gala, where we were dressed in a yacht theme, hence the bright pants that Dr. Shafty conveniently cropped out of this picture. Thank you. Celebrating Miss McDonald from Vero Beach as our Teacher of the Year. And then Miss Reed, our Transportation Specialist, who was our Employee of the Year. Just a great celebration. I love that event. And then the very next day we had two great events. The Science Fair, which I'm sure a number of board members will reference. It was top class. It looked like you were going to a regional science fair. The innovation stations that they had, the experiments that were going on, and the quality and the depth of the experiments. Just super impressed with that team and what they were able to do. And then a little bit later, same day in the gym, we transformed the space back into a drone competition event. We got a few drones still stuck in the roof right now, unless you got them, Bruce. But just so many schools competing, and the depth of what those children were doing with those devices, the science and the critical thinking that was being put to use. Yet again, just another outstanding event done at the absolute highest level. And that is our month in review.
Thank you, Dr. Moore. A lot of fun activities. Great. Now we go on to guidelines for public input, and I will read those to you. These are the procedures for public input according to our school board policy 169.1. During regular business meetings of the board offers the following two opportunities for the public to provide input: on an agenda item, consent agenda, and/or action agenda, prior to the board taking official action on a proposition, and two, during the public input section for items not on the agenda. For those who are watching, please understand that though we have established proper decorum and expectations of professionalism when it comes to individuals who wish to provide public input, this is a live broadcast. Each individual speaker shall be allotted up to 3 minutes during public input and up to 3 minutes to an item on the consent agenda and/or action agenda as indicated on the order of business as it exists at the time the meeting starts. The time period may be adjusted by the presiding officer. Individuals may only speak once about a given item. Individuals who have filled out the speaker's form are allowed to address the board. Individuals may not delegate their allotted time to speak to other individuals. If an item is moved from either the consent agenda or discussion agenda to the action agenda, individuals will have the opportunity to speak to the item prior to a vote of the board. During the meeting, please refrain from clapping or outbursts of any sort so that we can proceed with dignity and with decorum by not infringing on any individual's First Amendment rights in this limited public forum setting. As board members listen to individuals without interruption, individuals are asked to give board members the same respect. Board members may or may not address any individual statements at the end of all the public input comments. I will be recognizing and calling up individuals 2 at a time in the order in which the speaker forms were received. The first individual will be called to the podium to speak, and the second individual will be in line to speak. The executive assistant to the school board will be the official timekeeper, and the time shall start when the speaker is at the podium. As you will see, the time clock is visible to your left on the dais. You will hear a beep at the end of your 3 minutes. If you have anything to give to board members or the superintendent, please do so through our executive assistant, Mrs. Morey. Okay, we have 5 speakers tonight. The first speaker is Zachary Weigers, followed by Margaret Murray.
I really got to put my forms in later. I was scrambling to write this. One of the things that by the way, my name is Zachary. I teach financial algebra and geometry at Sebastian River High School. Financial algebra is a class for seniors, and it is designed by the state to make sure that they are ready to go out into the world after they graduate and become productive members of society. And I repeat it several times when I'm here because I find it most important. I encourage them for civil action to do what their duty is, to go vote. Most of them are going to turn 18. 2026 is a midterm election. We're going to have our governorship is going to be up for a new position. Our Uncle Ron is currently in his last term, and I encourage everybody to go out and educate themselves. One of the things that strikes me is every time we come to a meeting or we go to school, we say one sentence over and over and over again, 180 times a year. And it's so innocuous to us because it's so repetitive, but we say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We repeat this sentence so often that it just becomes background noise. And it's the thing that makes me wonder is if we really understand what those words mean and how they affect us outside of these 4 walls. It is our responsibility, it's a pledge we take for 13 years through school that when we leave, we will honor indivisibility and justice for all. That's all. Not you, not just you, or maybe you, but not her, everyone. And it's that importance that when I met Dr. Moore for the first time I started teaching, one of the pledges that he makes is no matter your creed, no matter your pedigree, no matter your lineage, if you want to come here to Indian River County to get an education, our door is open to all, to all. And it's with that we teach that when you use words, you make them stand with purpose and fortitude. From the moment that you understand that, you can guarantee that you are going to be trusted to know and understand your word and what it means to the rest of us. And my hope is that for Indian River County and all of those that we take care of, we maintain our pledge to be steadfast in the vision that we maintain that all are welcome here for an education. So thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Margaret Murray, followed by Marilyn LaVecchia.
Good evening. My name is Margaret Murray, Vice Chairman of Education Champions. The Schools of Hope Law is still very much on the agenda in Tallahassee. And let's be clear about what this really means. our legislators are preparing to hand over hundreds of public schools across Florida to a small group of charter school operators without community consent, without transparency, and without accountability. Here in Indian River County, we're being told just one school, but we all know how quickly one becomes many. We only need to look at our neighboring counties to see how fast this can escalate once the door is opened. Across the state, what we are seeing from students, parents, educators, and school districts is admirable. Student government delegations are traveling to Tallahassee to confront lawmakers directly. School board members and district leaders are calling, writing, and meeting face-to-face with legislators. Parents are organizing, raising concerns about the chaos, the disruption to learning, and the confusion this would bring to already strained school communities. But the question we must ask tonight is it enough? Because what people are beginning to see clearly and unmistakably is that this is not about helping students. This is a money grab, plain and simple. And Tallahassee is allowing it to happen in our public schools right in front of our eyes. Education champions have done our part. So what gets lost? Families for Strong Public Schools said it best. Local control is being taken away. Public dollars are being used inefficiently. Community-led charter schools are harmed. Student safety and privacy are at risk. Neighborhood schools are disabled. Communities are excluded from the decision-making process. Our request to lawmakers: we respectfully urge the Florida legislature to fully repeal the Schools of Hope co-location provision. This policy cannot be fixed through rulemaking. Full repeal is necessary to restore local control, protect taxpayers, ensure transparency, and allow communities to decide how their public school buildings
Thank you, Ms.
are
Murray.
used.
Thank you. Marilyn LaVecchia, followed by Thomas Kenny.
Good evening. I'm Marilyn LaVecchia, Education Champion member. Yesterday I came across an article posted by Education for All featuring the words of Maya Angelou, and I felt compelled to share it with you tonight. It's in honor of International Day of Education, which was this past Saturday, and in celebration of Literacy Week for the state of Florida and Indian River County schools. It has a powerful message. Quote, "I believe that education, and only education, is the key to which can open the dungeon of ignorance and allow our youth to share in the glory of a life lived joyously." Unquote, Maya Angelou. Today on International Day of Education, we celebrate education as a fundamental human right and a powerful pathway to peace, dignity, and possibility for every student and every community. With millions of young people still out of schools worldwide, this day serves as both a reminder and a call to action. Education must be inclusive, equitable, and accessible for all. Dr. Maya Angelou understood this deeply. Her work reminds us that education is not just about information, it's about liberation, empathy, and the courage to rise. In her iconic poem, Still I Rise, Dr. Angelou demonstrates how knowledge and self-understanding empower us to transcend adversity. And through her timeless guidance, quote, "When you learn, teach. When you get, give," unquote, she offers a blueprint for how education becomes a collective act of uplift and responsibility. As we honor this global day, may we recommit to ensuring that every learner, regardless of background, geography, or circumstance, has the opportunity to rise, to imagine, and to shape a future worthy of their brilliance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thomas Kenny, and then our final speaker, Jennifer Pippin.
How y'all doing? Your mics are a little soft, so just so you know. So sometimes it sounds like you're mumbling. I'm sorry to say that, but you're usually very clear and loud out here. First things first, in regards to Schools of Hope, I think it's hopeless for them to apply here because this school system has been so proactive, and one of the things that you guys have done is created an innovation that's rarely seen in this state. Matter of fact, only one other county, and started a classical school, which has been championed for 4 years by Jacqueline Rosario, and has finally come to fruition. So I don't think you have anything to worry about because the way you guys are, that combats people coming in to try and take over. Secondly, I want to talk about the DSEG order. Yes, my favorite topic, unfortunately it is, that last semester from August to December, you guys only met twice. You're supposed to meet once a month, and I know you have new attorneys coming on board for both sides. It's my understanding that Amy Anvov will be taking over for us, and that Adrienne Harveveld, I can't really say her name too well, she will be taking over for Baker McKenzie and the NAACP. That's great, but get back onto that schedule of once a month. It's very important. Secondly, there's this, back in April, I want to say, or yeah, it was April, you guys had scheduled to go to mediation. That still hasn't been taken care of over one KPI. Come on. I know you guys have put out a lot of dates. Again, the other side. The other side has been hostile in ways that I don't think are in good faith. And I'm going to read this. This was after the October meeting. You guys were discussing transportation. And transportation led by Ms. Idolette, whose father and his sons were part of the original people who brought forth the desegregation order back when it was very important and had to happen. But I want to read this. This is from Mershon Green, a member of the NAACP. She posted this on Facebook after that meeting. She says, "It's painful enough to see black people keep their heads down and remain silent as discrimination persists within the system. But it's far more troubling when those who hold power within the same system become the ones driving and sustaining the very discrimination they once endured. Black students don't stand a chance in the school district of Indian River County because only a handful of black administrators actually care about them. All others are clocking a check and tap dancing." SMH for shaking my head. This is who you're negotiating with? I find it disgusting. I really believe they should probably find some new people for their side of this work group. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kinney. Final speaker, Jennifer Pippin.
Good evening and Happy New Year. It's interesting, especially during election season, how much attention is given to whether candidates have children currently enrolled in our public schools. Let's be clear, none of the current school board members have children enrolled in SDIRC schools right now. And Mrs. Rosario's challenger, they do not have children in schools governed by this board either. So if by that standard, it applies to everyone equally. But here's the truth. What really matters is not whose children are in the district today, it's values, decisions, and results matter. We should be asking questions about voting records, attendance and engagement, policy positions, outcomes for our students and our families and our taxpayers. For the challengers, the key question is simple. What would you do differently in a top 5 A-rated school district? Because under this board's leadership, and thanks to engaged citizens like us in our organization, this district has risen from 38th in the state to 5th. So now we're a top 5 district. Challengers need to explain clearly while running for office what isn't working, what should change, how their ideas would improve on what is already succeeding. Elections should be about performance and vision, not distractions, not talking points. Let's focus on the questions that truly matter to this district and our students' future, many students in this room today. And I'll leave you with a fun fact. If all 3 incumbents are reelected this year, it will be their last terms. So by November of 2030, 3 brand new school board members will take office as these terms end. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Pippin, and everyone who came out to speak tonight. Dr. Moore, any comments? Any board members like to say anything? Okay, we're good to go. Thank you again. All right, now we go to approval of the consent agenda item, and there were no amendments. I'd like to call for a motion to approve the consent agenda items. Dr. Pasca,
I'll second.
any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you. Dr. Moore, just a couple notes on the approved agenda. We have a lot of donations in this agenda. I want to thank, there are so many I know I would miss, but a lot of PTA, Sebastian River High School donations, Wabasso and Fells, Mayor Dr. Pasca to the Treasure Coast Technical College. Dodgertown had quite a few. The FDOE, I think it's a workforce development grant with Treasure Coast Technical College, over $500,000. So we're looking at that, I think, for their EMT, the new EMT program. And so thank you. Again, all of these donations are listed. One thing I haven't said either is I know Mr. Dyer gave us his salary and benefits. So again, thank you to everyone. When you look at what Dr. Moore shared at the superintendent's report, all of the meetings he's attending, and they don't have children in schools, a lot of these people, but they are there for us. I know you're there tomorrow with the Learning Alliance. You're speaking with United Way tomorrow at Powered by Purpose. So thank you for getting out to the community and letting them know about our schools. I think it's very, very important. And one last thing, if you don't mind, because I've gotten a lot of questions on this, obviously our capital outlay, we've all been given information on that in workshops and in our individual meetings. But a couple questions that I get, when we're making that move this year, all the moves, are we good to go with all the capital outlay plans? And how's the timeline looking for that?
So no shift or modification to the projects that we're planning. We continue to work forward with that. We were able to, through efficiencies, identify these funds and roll forward funds. So funds that we budgeted just in case something went over in previous projects. That allowed us to fund what we needed in order to have this transition. So we were working very hard to make sure we meet all of those timelines.
Thank you, and I know we'll have a safety issue like we had one this year with the bleachers at Vero Beach High School on the visitor side, and we have a reserve for that.
Already
So, and you know, as board members here, I know that we have a lot of work to do as we move into this fall. I can't believe it's coming so quickly, but we are obviously here to help. Okay, items pulled from consent to action. There were none on that. I'm sorry, Ms. Rosario, go ahead.
That's okay. I'd just like to piggyback off of something that you just mentioned, if that's okay.
Sure.
I'd just like to recognize Dr. Pasca. I know you're not gonna want it. You're too humble for this. But Dr. Pasca has, not only has he refused a salary, but he's donated his entire salary for the last 4 years to Treasure Coast Technical College. So he deserves, I think, he deserves more than just a hand clap for that, Dr. Pasca. I know you're very humble and you don't want to. I know you don't. But it's a lot of money. And Treasure Coast Technical College and the students that are there are really benefiting from all of the donations that they receive, but certainly from a board member, I think it's incredibly honorable of you to do that. So I just wanted to thank you, and I think at this point, since it was mentioned, since the chair mentioned it, I think you deserve someone to say thank you so much for dedicating that to the school district and to the students here, to the adult students and to our students.
I appreciate that, thank you.
That's all.
Let's just take it.
No, I'm just saying.
I'll say the one thing I really enjoyed hearing from Mrs. Shields was there were literally students who couldn't afford the tuition and didn't have a place to live and were literally living out of their car, going to school with the funds I gave. And that really made me, feel really great. And I've been praying for all the students, any students who got my funds. I've been praying that God would bless them and give them a great life and kind of lift them up. So I hope they're all doing great, and I'll continue to pray for them.
Thank you. And I want to also acknowledge Mr. Dyer. Thank you for your salary and your benefits to the school system. I just think it's wonderful that we have 2 board members here who do this for our system. It's probably not heard of, and I thank you very much. Okay, so review poll consent to action items, none, so we're good to go there. Oh, Moses, all right, now we're in the action agenda. Unbelievable. All right, public hearing for adoption of revision to school board policies, volume 26, number 1. The item was presented at the superintendent's workshop on November 17th in compliance with policy 0171, policy 0131 legislative, and chapter 120 of the Florida Administrative Code. And the school board voted to hold a public hearing for adoption at the November 17th, 2025 business meeting. This update reflects changes from the 2025 Florida legislation, Department of Education guidance, state board rulemaking, Neola client collaboration, and review of relevant federal and state laws, regulations, court decisions, and attorney general opinions. Policy were revised in conjunction with Neola Volume 26, Number 1 update. The changes update included a total of 55 policies. That's why I'm reading this. 54 policies with revisions and 1 new policy as listed below. Policy 1420 was amended based on recommendations from the school board members at the November 17th superintendent workshop, and these changes are highlighted in the agenda. Okay, so this item deals with approval for adoption of revisions to school board policies, volume 26, number 1. Number 1. Dr. Moore, have you documented that this public hearing was properly advertised in accordance with state statutes?
I have.
We now recess this meeting to conduct the public hearing as advertised. The public hearing is now in session. Time is 6:36. Dr. Moore, are there any written responses to the advertised public hearing to be read at this time?
Not at this time.
All right, the public is invited to address only this issue at this time. Is there anyone who'd like to address any of the revisions or the policy changes? Thank you so much. The announced public hearing for adoption of revisions to school board policies, volume 26, number 1, has been concluded, conducted pursuant to notice, and ample opportunity to address this issue has been provided to all. The board meeting is reconvened at this time. The time is 6:36. Chair will call for a motion for adoption of revisions to school board policies, volume 26, number 1, as noted. I need a motion.
I make a motion.
Second.
Give a motion.
Okay, Ms. Mazzario, Ms. Berenborg, second. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor of the adoption of the policies, volume 26, number 1, please say aye.
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 Thank you. I know we do that quickly, but that took a lot of time.
Not only did it take a lot of time for each and every single board member to review the 55, staff to review them, to work with their staffs, this process has been completely reinvented, and it is thorough, it is efficient, and it is embedded into our way of work. So I can't
Right.
thank all of them enough. Ms. Holmes, who keeps us organized, can't thank her enough as well.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a lot of work, a lot of workshop discussion, individual meetings. Okay. So now we go into discussion, and we had none. So now we will go into school board member matters. Ms. Rosario, would you like to please begin?
Sure. My notes, it's not coming up on my computer. First, I'd just like to thank everyone in the community for their donations and for all of their work in helping to get the Jimmy Graves Sports Complex up and running. I think it is a beautiful space, and every time I drive by there and I see people from the community playing in the playground, it's just so nice to see. Where we started off with just a plain empty piece of land, now we have a sports field and community access to the playground. So all of it is just incredibly wonderful. I'm grateful for the Graves family, first and foremost, for this donation. I can't imagine how he feels when he walks onto that field and onto that playground, but it is more than generous on his part to be able to do that and share part of his family and Jimmy Graves' legacy with the entire community of Indian River County. The Stars of the Year dinner last Thursday was a wonderful tribute to celebrate our teachers and our employees of the year. That was lots of fun. So I just wanted to say publicly, as was already mentioned by Dr. Moore, thank you to Napier and Rowland, Indian River Distillery, Osceola Farms and Market, Pepper and Salt Barbecue, which is so good. Their food is so good. and everyone else involved in making that event happen. Also, which we haven't seen, and I'd love for us to be able to get it out, is Happy National School Choice Week. So this happens to be School Choice Week, and the governor of Florida has signed a proclamation, and so I'll share it with, I'll send it an email, I'll share it, but in case people haven't seen it, the School Choice Week in Florida, it's very short, and it says, whereas all children in Florida should have access to the highest quality education possible, and whereas Florida recognizes the important role that an effective education plays in preparing all students in Florida to be successful adults, and whereas quality education is critically important to the economic vitality of Florida, and whereas Florida is home to a multitude of high-quality public and non-public schools from which parents can choose for their children, in addition to families who educate their children in the home, and whereas educational variety not only helps to diversify our economy, but also enhances the vibrancy of our community, and whereas Florida has many high-quality teaching professionals in all types of school settings who are committed to educating our children, and whereas School Choice Week is celebrated across the country by millions of students, parents, educators, schools, and organizations to raise awareness for the need for effective educational options. Now, therefore, I, Governor Ron DeSantis, do hereby recognize January 25th through January 31st, 2026 as Florida School Choice Week, and I call the observance of to the attention of all for all of our citizens. So I think this is incredibly important, especially since we're, obviously moving in the direction of innovation and opening up our options for school choice within our district and our community. And then lastly, I'd also like to just remind, or I don't even know if it's out there yet, but the classical material adoption process for Pelican Island Classical Magnet School will soon begin. The school district will consider instructional materials for Pelican Island Classical Magnet for their grades 2 through 8. And so if anybody is interested in sitting on that committee and helping through this process, I believe it is online, although I didn't see it, but I do believe online there is a survey to fill out, and you can, and that survey, of course, will go to Ms. Ann Bieber, and you will be contacted by the district to participate in that option, obviously to help us through the next curriculum process. Did I get it all? I got it. All right. That's all. Thank you.
Dr. Pasco?
I got nothing.
Okay. Ms. Berenborg up in Tallahassee, is it getting cold up there?
Getting cold here.
I woke up to 22 degrees this morning.
Oh, my.
It's not Vero Beach. We're supposed to get the lowest week they've ever had temperature-wise for years. So, yay. I did manage to get over to the Capitol today, and I was setting up my meetings and going in and meeting with aides, and sure enough, a rep and a senator that I wanted to see actually were there, heard my voice, and invited me in to speak. So got some meetings already today. The first thing I saw when I walked into the Capitol was the art in the school's welcoming sign. So it's great that I saw the student that was giving us our art and sending it to the Capitol. And it is neat to see it. Usually I get to see it when I'm up here this week. And it's nice to see the student art. So I got to see Representative Trabolsi, and she is on several committees about education, and she's vice chair of one of them. So it was really nice to have a conversation with her about our platform. She's very, very positive about the things that we're asking for. And she got some insight, a little bit of insight as to the co-location concerns that we have particularly. So she was very welcoming and wanted to hear that. So I told her what was going on with in our case, because she's in St. Lucie. Then I went into Senator Mayfield's office, and she was there and invited me in, and Was so excited to hear about the Jimmy Graves Complex opening, and I told her all about it, and I let her know that, she was mentioned, and her part was very important for what she did to help us get the funding that we needed also. So she was very excited about it. I invited her to the playground opening. Unfortunately, that's a Thursday, and they are in session on those days, so she won't be able to come to that either. But she wishes everyone well, and was so excited to hear how well our schools are doing. Asked me lots of questions about why we've gone from 38th to 5th. So I didn't have all the answers about that, but I gave her all the information I could about wonderful Dr. Moore and his team. So the platform items that we have are very different than I've ever brought up here before because of the flexibility and our high performing schools that we have here. And it's a little different ask this year. It's a little easier. So that was nice. And I just want to say that I did go to the Showcase of Schools. That was great this year. It was nice to see our charter schools in with our public schools, so I thank you for that. Science fair was wonderful. I was a judge for the elementary school. I did 5th grade, I believe, and had 2 students from the high school that were co-judges with me. Very, very excited. One was their first time, the other was their second time. And they were just amazed at how well the 5th graders were doing with their science fair projects. MLK Parade, as usual, was cold, but it was a lot of fun. And you're right, there were a lot of floats. And the Stars of the Year dinner and the gala were, again, probably the best. They get better every year. Thank you for that. And, of course, I went to the Jimmy Graves Complex opening, and it was nice to talk to the Graves family. After everybody kind of walked in and on a personal level, tears in their eyes. So it was hard to sometimes have a conversation about it, but it was really nice and they appreciated it so much. So it was nice to go to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dyer.
Yeah, it was a pretty exciting month, this month already, coming back from vacation and getting right at it. And I must say that I also attended quite a few of these events. Some of the highlights for me was the MLK Parade. That was absolutely fun and terrific, and to see the turnout and to be on the float was really quite fun, and I enjoyed that event a lot. Also, I think 2 other highlights were the recognition of our teachers at the dinner at Osceola Farms. I did not see the email that it was outside, so luckily Mr. Rowland was able to lend me a hooded sweatshirt, and I made it through the evening. It was, I think, one of the coldest nights we've had, but it was absolutely terrific, and the distilleries and Salt and Pepper and Rowland and Napier, fantastic, great event and lots of fun. And then I can tell you the Stars Gala, where they selected and announced the Teacher of the Year and the Employee of the Year. You're talking about high activity and high action at Sebastian High. That was, again, fantastic. I couldn't believe the energy in the room for the whole night. I, too, attended the Jimmy Graves opening and was very moved by Mr. Graves' speech. I think that it's just a great thing for the community, having seen it done. And I thank all the people who got behind it and made it happen, FP&L and all the contributors and all the people who really got behind it and saw it to fruition. And then lastly, the Showcase of Schools, again, another terrific event. You talk about choice. Dr. Moore, when he came to this district 5 years ago, said that every school is a school of choice in our district. And I think to see the Showcase of Schools, where all schools and charter schools are competing to educate the students, was just terrific. And then the introduction of the new schools, I thought Vero Beach Middle was fantastic. And to see people with the signs, "I'm going to Vero Beach Middle," was great. And I can see the curriculum streams that are going to start developing as we go through that to the high school, and the synergy that we're going to get from those two. Just wonderful events and a lot going on and a lot more to go. I think we'll be here next Monday night for another workshop, so it just keeps on coming.
Just a few things to add. At the MLK parade, I noticed students would see if their school sign wasn't up there.
Yeah.
And they'd say, well, it's on the other side, even Vero Beach Middle, so that was cool. I was at the dedication to the basketball court for Coach Lowendick. That was wonderful. Thank you to Jody Idolette and Deb Long for leading that committee. Really neat ESOL Parent Night at Storm Grove under the direction of Miss Malice, and then Miss Green did the presentations. Wonderful. They were talking to the parents about focus and just getting into the system. It was a fun night. The parade was great, and this year Sebastian River High School stayed and played a little bit. The band did. Usually they leave right away, and that was a hit in that area for the kids. And then the Vero Beach cheerleaders were cheering, so that was cool. Osceola Farms, great food, music, and bonfire. I think the best part, obviously Napier Rollins for sponsoring it, but the s'mores and the bonfire. I mean, it was just a perfect night.
How cool is that?
The turtle mural at Sebastian Elementary. I know Mr. Green was there and Miss Basura. Boy, you talk about community connection with the community, with the drawing, how they worked with the students, how they presented it, how it got up on the wall. I mean, that's truly a community partnership. I'm on the advocacy committee and the federal committee with FSBA advocacy, still talking about schools of hope and accountability, so hopefully that will turn around for us. Federal, just seeing where the Department of Education components are going, very concerned about IDEA and where they will be going and how that will affect our students. It was mentioned in the talking points tomorrow for Bob Seuss, and I'll be doing that. Janine Jones, Osceola teacher, music teacher, was Florida Music Educator of the Year, and that is a big thing. There are about 10,000 people at that event, and Janine Jones has been a wonderful, wonderful teacher for this system. And again, the gala and just having all the recognition and celebration. I'm just wondering when you're going to rest. When the next, till, I don't know, through the summer, I don't know. But anyway, just thank you for all the activities we've had since Christmas. It's, we're moving forward every single day with getting ready for our innovation. Dr. Moore, anything from you?
Just in terms of closing remarks, I want to remind everybody that February 6th is the closing of our choice window. So if you have not applied yet, don't miss the opportunity to identify the school that best fits the needs of your family, your son or daughter, and apply, because we'll be making decisions sooner than later. Also want to remind everybody that we will be having two major events coming up on the 11th and 12th. We'll be having our a partnership with the Learning Alliance, our Wired to Learn FAST conference, and this is the opportunity for us to bring in over 300 people from literally across the nation, 14 different school districts. Their executive teams coming really to try to engage in conversation not only about our public-private partnership, but how you wire your system to learn, to think, and respond as fast as we do in the school district of Indian River County. So it is an honor to host that. And then the following Monday, which is on the 16th, we will be hosting our Moonshot Series premiere. So if you have not registered to come and get a glimpse of that Moonshot series premiere, now would be your opportunity to do so. It's on our webpage. We're going to be viewing it at both 4 and 6 with like little refreshments in the middle. So whether you come early or come late, you can still have the opportunity to engage and connect and really figure out what it means to be part of this movement. Thank you.
Ms. Rosario, I'm sorry.
At Riverside, yes.
Riverside. Ms. Rosario.
Dr. Moore, you mentioned school choice deadline for parents' enrollment, which is February 6th. But tomorrow evening, and I don't know who might have those dates, I think it's tomorrow and Wednesday, we have an open session with anyone who in the community who has questions and needs assistance. Does anyone have those times and dates? You do? She's looking it up.
Okay.
And so if any of our community members, parents, have any questions about school choice, whether they can or cannot attend a particular school or request, whatever it is that they have questions about, we will have a staff member present on 2 dates we're waiting for right now.
Ms. Christofolli has it.
Ms.
They were
Christofolli.
here this morning. The team was here this morning in the multipurpose room right here from 8 to 10. They'll be here tomorrow from 8 to 10, and then Thursday night is 5 to 7.
So tomorrow here
Morning.
at the district office from 8 to 10 in the morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning, and then on Thursday from
5 to 7.
5 to 7 p.m. Okay.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, thank you for a wonderful evening. We are going to adjourn at 6:55 p.m. Thank you.